Huh? But actually, they're the ones who are imagining that they can get some advancement in spiritual life without following the principles. It's not possible. So, in the 11th canto, 20th chapter, verse 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord himself says, one should execute the prescribed duties of Varna and Ashram as long as he has not developed spontaneous attachment for hearing about my pastimes and activities. That's the key. Sometimes we see the self-realized souls acting in a way which is apparently contrary to the rules and regulations, especially the Babajis. We don't know anybody like that, of course. But anyway, we see them sometimes doing things that are a bit odd. People may say, well, you know, he's not following strictly all these rules and stuff like that. But, you know, he's not supposed to. That would diminish his loving attachment for Krishna. He's already pure. He has spontaneous attachment. He doesn't require any rules and regulations to stay fixed. But most people do. So they have to follow according to the stage they're at. There's a very nice verse which I like to quote, this Adau Shraddha Satya Sango, Adau Shraddha Sadhu Sango. You know that verse? Yeah. 10 stages of devotional service. So which one are you at? If you're in the beginning, 3 or 4 stages, you have to follow the rules and regulations. But once you acquire taste, then spontaneous devotional service. So you have to act according to your level or your stage of development of devotional service. Otherwise, you can fall down. You have to act appropriately. In other words, the prescribed forms of Varna and Ashram are ritualistic ceremonies of religion intended for economic development, sense gratification, or salvation. All of these things are recommended for persons who have not developed Krishna consciousness. In fact, all such activities are recommended in the revealed scriptures only to bring one to the point of Krishna consciousness. But one who has already developed spontaneous attachment for Krishna does not require to execute the duties prescribed in the scriptures. This is a very important point. If one cannot get beyond, cannot transcend the stage of regulative devotional service, it means there's something wrong with his understanding. If he's not progressing, if he's not making advancement, one should be able to attain this spontaneous platform of devotional service within the same lifetime as he becomes a devotee. It's not that one has to be born in a new body, in a new situation. You should be able to advance to this stage, you see. But if someone is being held back by lack of understanding or bad association or wrong emphasis, for example, when I was in ISKCON, the prevalent understanding is you can't attain the spontaneous platform. You can't do it. Nobody can do it. Our devotional service will forever be measured by how well we can execute the regulative principles. And then you have gurus falling down right and left, you know, convicted of child molestation and this and that. What is this? They can't even follow the rules and regulations of the neophyte stage of devotional service. And these are the leaders? Well, of course they're going to get the idea that you can't attain spontaneous devotional service because they haven't even attained the neophyte platform yet. But those who have actually followed those rules and regulations, they can understand that then there's a higher stage where you're beyond the rules and regulations. Does that mean that you go out and start smoking and drinking and eating meat again? No. No, it means you follow those rules and regulations spontaneously. It doesn't take any effort. In fact, you don't even think about this nonsense anymore because you're constantly absorbed in relishing the spiritual taste of the holy name of the Lord. See, that's really the spontaneous platform. And then automatically you perform service. Automatically you want to please your spiritual master. Automatically you want to serve the devotees. Automatically live in matra. Automatically chant the holy name. All these things come spontaneously. It's not like you say, okay, now I have to get up and do this mantra. Oh boy, this is tough, but I'm going to do it. That's in the beginning. After a while, it's like, oh, beautiful, another day. Hare Krishna. Krishna is there. So, anyway, that's the 13th chapter. Are there any questions?
Yes. We understand that Babajis, in theory, they're not supposed to be preaching because of their wild nature. So, in this case, it is only because of emergency.
What's the question?
That's it. Is it only because of emergency?
Yes. The situation is, my god brothers got some distorted understanding of the scriptures. We often comment about how they took out the words from the preface of Srimad Bhagavatam, that the Srimad Bhagavatam is a work of ontological education. And this, I found, was the key to realizing Srimad Bhagavatam. If you don't look at Srimad Bhagavatam as a work of ontology, you cannot understand it properly. And Srila Prabhupada, in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, in many places, uses ontological language to describe it. But the key was missing. The key was glossed over, was actually taken out, deleted by the editors of the BBT. Those same editors today are now changing Prabhupada's books in thousands of places. Well, why are they doing it? They don't understand anything. They never did understand properly, and now they are making even more misunderstandings. And so they have led, these so-called leaders have led the whole society astray. I've never once heard anybody from Gaudiya Math, from ISKCON, from Vrinda, from any organization of so-called Vaishnavas, I've never heard any of them say that Srimad Bhagavatam is a work of ontological education. Only Srila Prabhupada. And only Srila Prabhupada manifested the potency of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. And in my own studies, this was the key. This was the key to understanding what is Srimad Bhagavatam. Maybe you don't understand what ontology is. Well, you should get out the dictionary and you should go online and you should look it up. Because ontology is the key to understanding Srimad Bhagavatam. And because it seems like I'm the only person in the world who understands this, I had the obligation to preach. It descended on me. I was chosen. I was asked. I was ordered to take up this lineage. And not because I'm qualified, not because I'm so strong or so intelligent or so anything, but because nobody else is doing it. None of the people who are supposed to do it are doing it. So somebody has to do it. I got called off the bench. Try to understand. This is not my inclination. I'm an artist. I would much rather, just sit out in the woods someplace and play music. So I would rather not be engaged in public contact and philosophical debate and presentations and all of this stuff. I would rather just serve Krishna in my own way. But because there's a need, somebody had to do it. If you're so smart, if you're so intelligent, if you're so advanced, you do it. Please. So I can go back to just being a musician. But I don't see anybody doing it. I see everyone being led astray. I see everyone being given an inferior understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam and these scriptures. I don't hear anyone preaching properly about rasa tattva. I don't hear anyone preaching properly about spontaneous devotional service. I had to do it. I had to do it. And on top of that, actually I was at one point considering to take sannyas. But then I looked around and I realized as soon as I did that, if I took sannyas, sannyas has become so degraded now that if you take sannyas from one Vaishnava organization or one particular guru, then you can't preach in any other temple or any other organization or to the disciples of any other guru. It's gotten so bad, so sectarian, so, we put down the Christians. A lot of devotees do. I don't, but a lot of devotees put down the Christians